She stood at the doorway with her suitcase, her perfume still hanging in the air, like a lie that refused to fade. "You'll miss me," she said, with that practiced smirk she wore whenever she thought she had the upper hand. I looked at her, really looked at her, and realized I'd already started forgetting the woman she used to be. "Who said you're coming back?" I replied. Her smile faltered, for the first time in months. That's the thing about silence. It's louder than shouting. Sharper than revenge. She thought she was leaving me. But she didn't know. I'd already left her long before that morning. It all started the night she began working late. I wasn't suspicious at first. Marriage, or so I believed, was built on trust. But she'd come home smelling of expensive perfume I didn't buy. Makeup too perfect for a 12-hour office day. Her phone flipped face down every time I walked in the room. "It's just stress," she'd say, and I wanted to believe her. Because when the alternative means everything you built was a lie, hope becomes cruelty. It makes fools out of good men. One Thursday night, she said her boss invited the team to dinner. I nodded, pretending not to notice how she avoided my eyes. When her car disappeared down the street, I checked the GPS I'd installed months ago. It wasn't the restaurant she'd named. It was a hotel. On the edge of town, I didn't confront her. Not yet. I drove there, parked across the street, and watched her silhouette through the window of room 214. She wasn't alone. I sat in that car for 2 hours, engine off, just breathing, no yelling. No tears, just the realization that something inside me had gone, quiet, permanently. The next morning, she was all sweetness again. "Morning, babe," she chirped, pouring coffee as if lies didn't stain her lips. "How was your night?" I asked calmly. "Exhausting," she said. "Team dinner ran late." "I bet it did," I smiled. She froze, then recovered, pretending not to notice the edge in my voice. That was when I knew. She'd keep lying, as long as I kept pretending to believe her. The following week, I visited my lawyer. Divorce papers. Clean. Simple. Final. I didn't plan to use them right away. I wanted silence to speak louder than any argument ever could. So I waited. Played my role. Even kissed her goodbye before another conference. But this time, I didn't stay home. I went to her office. Left a sealed envelope with her assistant. "Give this to her when she gets back," I said. Inside was everything. The truth, the end, and her own signature. The one she didn't remember signing when we refinanced the house. Copies of texts. Hotel receipts, fake business emails. Not for revenge. Just for peace. When she returned that Friday, I was in the kitchen, suitcase packed. "You're leaving?" she asked, voice trembling. "You'll miss me?" I met her eyes. Calm, detached, unrecognizable to the man I used to be. "Who said you're coming back?" Her face changed. Shock, denial, then fear. She reached for words, but they failed her. Just like the love she betrayed, the sound of her silence as it cracked behind me was the closure I'd been waiting for. When I left that morning, I didn't slam the door, didn't make a speech. I just walked out, with the same calm she mistook for weakness. Heartbreak, I learned, isn't loud. It's quiet. It's the silence when you realize the person you loved doesn't exist anymore. Weeks passed. I played my part perfectly. I texted her goodnight, sent flowers to her office, watched her fake her life on Instagram. But the truth? I'd already moved on. When she booked another conference, I followed her one last time. Same hotel. Same lies. Same man. I handed the receptionist an envelope with one line inside. "You'll miss me." That night, I opened a bottle of whiskey, sat by the window, and realized I wasn't broken anymore. I was free. Months later, when she came to my office, she looked different, paler, smaller. "I just wanted to talk," she said quietly. "About what?" I asked. "The weather? The hotel?" She flinched. I made a mistake. "More than one," I said. She tried to explain, but I'd already heard all her explanations. "They just used to come in the form of lies." "You really won't forgive me?" she asked. "I already did," I said. "When I stopped caring." That broke her more than any insult could. When she left, I realized something. There's peace in silence. Not the kind that hurts, but the kind that heals. Because love doesn't die in arguments or affairs. It dies in silence. When one person stops trying, and the other doesn't notice until it's too late. So when you hear the sound of silence, don't be afraid of it. Sometimes it's not emptiness. It's freedom. You thought you were leaving, but I'd already gone. Subscribe for more true stories like this.